Hello and welcome to the Lawless Podcast, and in this week's episode we're joined by Ben.
Hello.
Ben, so if you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
I'm Ben. I'm also a Trevelyan fresher at the University of Durham.
A Trevsman.
I'm doing maths and I'm from a little city in North Yorkshire. It's called Ripon.
A few of you may have heard of it.
A few of you may have heard of it. There's plenty of Riponians.
There are everywhere, mate. Wherever you look, they're just there. Oh man. So Yorkshire. Tell us about it. What's going on there?
Mate, not a lot to be honest. North Yorkshire, there's farms, there's fields, and that's about it for North Yorkshire. There's a bit of coast. There's a bit of coast.
Bit of coast somewhere.
You gotta get West Yorkshire, South Yorkshire for a bit more cities and that.
Yeah. What are the main cities in Yorkshire? Just York or like?
There's like Leeds and Bradford.
Yeah.
Sheffield and them. And they're more south than west.
Nice, man. So do you like? I don't know. Would you say you spend most of your time in like the little villages or?
Yeah. Don't really go far, you know.
Nice.
There's not a lot of infrastructure. It's not like down south. You can't be catching trains like that.
No. So do you remember a Welsh friend was telling us about this sort of train system there, and he says that it takes him like so many more hours once he crosses like the border.
Yeah.
Because the trains are so much slower there, which is a bit peak to be honest, you know. But yeah, man, just like get into some stuff that you've been up to. So you've been working at a little-known fast food joint for the last few years, haven't you?
I have been. I'm a McDonald's crew member since February this year.
Nice, man. So you know when you like name badge, you've got like the stars.
Yeah.
How many stars have you got?
Tell you what, I've got no stars.
Oh mate, that's unfortunate.
When I'm back at Christmas, that's the managers. They've told me we're going to get you stars.
Is that they've been promised you?
That is, I've been told what you got to do. You got to do like online training.
Really?
If you just do the graft, you can get them.
You got to do the graft.
But I've not done the graft yet.
You got to see the manager in his office and that.
Yeah, you do.
Fair play. So like, how do you go about getting it? Literally just training online, or is that?
I'm pretty sure you do a bit of online training, bit of a quiz and that.
Fair.
And just go and collect them.
Go and collect them, mate. Collect your stars.
Yeah.
What do they even mean though? Like, what do you get from it?
See, that's it's not like if I was paid an extra 10p an hour or something, I'd have got them straight away.
Oh, fair.
But they're just a bit of something to wear.
Just a bit of a
bit of
flex. Yeah. It's like, look at me, fellow McD's people. I'm better than you because I've got 2 stars and you got 1.
You can tell other people do the cleaning then.
Oh, you can just go, oh mate, sorry, I'm 2 star, you're only a 1 star.
It's all a hierarchy.
It is, mate. The pyramid of McD's, you know. Ronald's sitting at the top of that pyramid. And you're just all fighting over the stars. Bloody hell. But yeah, what would you say it is like to work there? Like, just, you know, walk me through like an average shift. What would you be up to? Like,
so if I'm doing like a 9 till 5 or something, I'll get in, and it's normally pretty busy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just always busy, to be honest. And like Ripon, it's not a big place, so I can't imagine working like in a London Mackies or something like that. Would be unreal. It's just busy, and like when it gets to 11 o'clock, that's when the breakfast changes to lunch. So that's a bit of chaos as well. But it's quite a good student job, to be honest, and it's an alright, like if you're an adult getting a job in Mackies, because it's easy to work up. Like I said, if you graft, you get your stars. You can become trainer, you can become manager. So it's a fairly decent job, and there's a decent group of people who work there.
Nice, man. Do you ever get like when it transitions to like lunch from breakfast? Do you get like loads of people like, you know, a bit annoyed because they want the breakfast still?
Yeah, especially if it's getting like, as soon as it turns 11, the register, it doesn't allow you to.
Oh, it literally just goes flat
like
out. No, sorry, mate.
You cannot you can't put hash browns through. Mate. So some people, they come like, oh, can I get a double McMuffin or whatever? And it's like, no.
No, you can't. You're not getting a double muffin, mate. Not in any circumstance.
Yeah.
And I saw this video. It was like some people going through like the drive-through, and then they were literally so annoyed that they couldn't get the breakfast, and they were like throwing stuff through the window. Yeah. Have you had anyone sort of attack your window at all?
I've never been attacked in the window. I will say that. Yeah, I think because like it's fairly small McDonald's. It's out of town. It's not like in the town centre. Like late at night, there's loads of drunks or something acting a bit raucous. So it's not too bad.
No, yeah, honestly, because you know when you go to like a sort of outlet, sort of like a shopping outlet, the Mackies there's are mental. It's them and like service station Mackies.
Yeah, service station.
It seems to be just so busy.
It's like we're not 24-hour either.
Oh, really? Nice.
So we shut at we either shut at 11 or midnight. I'm not sure. It's kept sort of pushing back on the return from COVID. But yeah, so it's not like we're there at 3 getting verbally abused by someone.
There's someone just shouting at you because I'm a hash brown at like 1:11 or something.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah. I know, mate, like, so what would you say your ideal order is in the
ideal Mackies order?
What's your ideal order?
Well, you see, on your break, you're allowed a certain amount of food or whatever. So what I normally get, at the moment, I think, I'm not sure if they discontinued it, but there was a double Big Mac.
Oh, yeah.
And that was pretty class. Remove the pickles, though.
Yeah, you always give the pickles that weird friend.
Yeah, I'm not about them.
No.
And then I normally get a triple cheeseburger as well, a little extra value meal.
Of course, mate. Yeah, shove it on. You know.
Yeah.
How long have you got to scram that on your break? Like 20 minutes, something?
You get 45 minutes.
Do you? That's all right.
So yeah, it's not too bad.
Fair
and then
play.
fries, you know. And then I quite like chocolate milkshake.
Nice.
Quite
That's
nice.
what you out.
Yeah.
And that's the break done, mate. You know, back onto the shift.
Yeah, a bit of Instagram, bit of Snapchat, and then you're back in there.
You're back, mate.
Back
The
in the
manager's
wall.
shouting at you, get in there, make some meals. Mate, so like, I don't know, what's the hardest thing to sort of like make? Was it all quite easy?
Hardest thing, well, I'm not trained particularly in kitchen. So when, if there's not a lot of staff, and it's like, I'll just, and there's like, need to make a quarter pound, I'm like, I'll give it a go.
Yeah,
And
we'll
I
try
end
my
up,
best.
and then I'm just like, help.
Help.
I'm like, I don't actually know what
I've
I'm
deep
doing.
fried my hand, help. Like,
It's like I've seen someone do it once, and I couldn't recreate it.
yeah. Man, so I think like, isn't it all like frozen just brought in or?
Well, like, maybe twice, 3 times a week, there's deliveries.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're keeping stuff for weeks and
It's on
weeks.
freezer for like 2 months.
Yeah, because it's not a massive freezer. So like, I'd say it's not like fresh, but it's not like it's been in there for months, is it?
It's not in the bin, rotting or something, you know. Yeah.
Like it's fairly new food, so it's alright.
Yeah,
It's all cooked, and obviously
it's all cooked, you know.
Yeah.
Just reassure you customers,
it is all cooked.
We can give you that as a guarantee.
Guaranteed.
It will at least be somewhat warm when you receive
It'll be warmed
it.
up.
But other than that, you know, you're on your own, lad.
It's
Enjoy
free
it.
for all other than that.
Free for all, mate. Yeah. So like the question on everyone's mind, the ice cream machine, mate.
The ice cream
What's going on
machine.
with that?
Well, you see, it is somewhat temperamental at the best
Oh,
times.
yes.
So quite
Very
often it
temperamental.
is broken.
Yeah.
But also on shift, like, is it every day or once a week, twice a week, the ice cream machine has to be fully cleaned.
Yeah.
And that takes hours. So they'll put that on to clean, so getting on into the evening.
Yeah.
So when it starts cleaning, you can't serve ice cream.
Wow.
So that's why it might often be broken. It's just
Yeah.
out of order because it's been cleaned.
Yeah, it's like in the cafeteria, isn't it, with the old orange machine?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
it was always broken after breakfast
Out of
until the
order.
next day, and it somewhat like gets prepared in the night, and it's just
Yeah,
okay
yeah.
in the morning. Man, but yeah, so like, I don't know. Have you seen some like what's been like sort of the worst customers you've had to deal with? Have you had any real like stinkers like kicking off in the
I
shop?
feel
or-
like no one ever really like kicks off mega. Like you see videos and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
On
It's like
Instagram,
fights
whatever.
breaking out in the shop
Yeah,
and stuff.
like, like full on scraps when there's
Yeah.
like bodyguards and stuff in there or security. But like we just get like if you forget to put like a cheeseburger in or something, they're usually a bit miffed.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like they know it's a Mackey's. It's not like they've turned up to a restaurant.
No, they
like,
understand
a
what they're
fully
getting,
fledged
don't they?
Michelin
Yeah.
star thing. So it's like they understand that like 1 in every 10 something's going to be missing.
Yeah.
So like they're never normally that angry about it.
Or did you just go up there with your receipt and be like,
Yeah, they just
I'm
go like,
missing
oh, I've
this?
not got the cheeseburger, and you just because it's normally there left because you've obviously forgot to put it in.
Yeah, so it's just
So you
there
just
on the
grab
table,
it,
isn't
stick
it?
it in a
Yeah.
little bag, and it's an easy fix.
Easy fix, bang. Do you ever
Yeah.
get people like try and mug you off and like try and like say they've not got stuff when they haven't? Like,
Yeah, they're decent. They're like, I don't know this. Oh, I ordered this, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, you haven't. It's not on your receipt.
it's like that is a complete lie. You just haven't ordered.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you saying?
That's not what you're doing.
Yeah, that's mad, man. Have you ever had any like Karens come in? People just like really complaining or something? Or
I had a look on TripAdvisor the other day,
oh yeah, what for the ripping
Yeah.
Mackies?
and
Love that.
there were big complaints on there. It's like,
Really?
Yeah. It's like I haven't seen any of that in store.
No, it's like where are these coming from?
Yeah, it's like some people.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you give out the food or whatever, they'll like eat a chip and they'll be like, oh, "That's not hot enough. Can you get me another one?" Like again, you just sort of grab a fresh one.
Yeah, it's
So
like,
it's like-
what?
It's just like easy fixes, really. It's like nothing ever really bad can go wrong.
No. Have you seen that stuff where like apparently someone's like was putting drugs in like the meals or something? I saw it like in America.
I say that's not.
There's putting it in the burgers and that, and it was going out.
That's a bit mad.
You seen that other video? It was like some lad outside like I don't know, some sort of like fast food place.
Is that when they were putting coke in the
Yeah,
food?
and the guy's like, "Have you heard about the coke being put in the burgers?" And the guy's like, "What?
Yeah, that's what I
No.
was like,
What do you mean the
really?
coke's in the burgers?"
That's amazing, that video.
Yeah, honestly. And he just plays so dumb with the papers,
Yeah.
just like, "What? What are you doing?"
lad reported him, was just like, mate.
Mate, I know what you've done. I just know. Oh yeah, near where I live, yeah. Have you seen that video? It was like the news filming some sort of village house,
Yeah.
and then there's a lad who just runs past a news camera with like a weed plant. Like he just runs past, he's like, "Local drug dealer in the area," and then like running past like 2 minutes
Yeah.
later, there's this lad has weed plant, and it's so perfectly done, yeah. Because just as the camera people just say, "Local drug dealer found," and then just buzzes past.
Is it like a potted
No,
plant?
like a literal pot of it, yeah. And he's just running off of it. And this is like some really quiet
What an
village as
idiot.
well, where like nothing happens. So it's just like really
Wow.
weird. Honestly,
Yeah,
man.
that was a bit mad.
Yeah. But have you ever seen any stuff like working at night, or would you say it's all quite tame? Any particular like, whoa, what was that sort of stories?
One time, because we've recently done a bit of Uber Eats.
Oh yeah.
And this is like middle of the day.
Yeah.
But apparently one of the Uber drivers, he sort of pulled in and didn't have his seatbelt on or something.
Oh no.
So it looked like he was getting banged up in the car park when this policeman. I think he just gave him a warning.
Oh.
But like we were appearing through the drive-through, just like, what's going on?
Why's the Uber driver being arrested?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Lad's been taken down.
That was free up my guy.
That was an exciting 5 minutes.
That was the Rip and Mackey's, mate. That's the highlight of the whole day.
It was just like, hang on to the person in the car. It's like
he's gone now. Yeah, Mr. Uber driver from Rip and Mackey's. Unlucky, mate. Take the L.
Yeah.
Fair play, man. Fair play. But I know, man. We're just gonna move on to a bit like what school was like for you. So I don't know. Describe like, I don't know how it was. Like, what was it kind of?
Well,
like?
I mean, I enjoyed school.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty classy. Yeah. You get there at 9. It was so much easier getting to school at 9.
No, honestly,
getting
wasn't
to
it?
uni at
Yeah,
9.
yeah.
That's a whole different. 9's different.
9 is different here than it was.
And like you get there, a bit of form time, whatever. You're with your mates. You go to maths, you're with your mates.
Yeah.
Go to physics, whatever. You're with your mates. Break.
Yeah.
See your mates. A bit of rugby at lunch, or whatever. It was just class.
Exactly. Like the lessons just facilitated you being with your mates more.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Do you remember the science lessons as well, mate?
Science lessons.
Science lessons.
They're a bit nutty.
Like you could literally do anything in them. Like they were trusting like 9-year-olds like chemicals and shit. Like
same in like food tech. That was always a bit mad.
No, honestly, man. Like food tech.
Yeah, that was always a good laugh.
Like, they literally just give you whatever you want. And do you remember the night before when you see your parents at like 10:30 and be like,
I need cornflour or something.
Yeah, I need my ingredients, please. And they're like, where do I buy like blue colouring at 10:30 at night?
On my walk to school, I'd walk like a mile to school.
Really?
It was a trek.
That is a trek, man.
And there was like a BP 24-hour garage.
Yeah.
So that was pretty elite if I needed anything.
Oh,
They
so
normally had a few bits. Yeah.
Yeah. That's mad. Have you ever had like service station food, mate?
Service station food.
No, not service station. Sorry, you know the petrol garages.
Yeah, like the meal deal.
Yeah, mate. No,
They're always
you don't want
dodgy.
to do that.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look like edible. You just know it isn't edible.
It's them like Rustler burgers.
Oh, mate, the Rustlers.
I've never had one of them.
To be fair, like my friend had one. He said it was calm, but like to me, the concept of having sort of a burger that's been in like a plastic packaging.
Yeah, don't they get like microwaved then as well?
Yeah, they do, mate. They do.
That's not the Mackey's standard.
That's not the standard, mate. You know, we're doing it better than Rustlers.
Yeah.
Honestly, man. But yeah, so like we're going back to like school and stuff. Like, would you say it was obviously quite academic?
I was a fairly academic geezer, you know.
Yeah, wasn't pissing around.
Yeah, I was not. I was, no detentions or anything like that. A bit boring.
Did you ever get any detentions at all? Or?
Nah.
Not one?
Mate, like, I just did my homework.
You did your
Didn't,
homework?
like, launch pens around in the class. Like,
no pens launched, mate. Come on.
I'd have a laugh, but, like, I'm not going to get detention for it.
No,
like, I'm not spending my lunchtime sat with the teacher.
Yeah, you didn't get caught. Good man. Did you have any like, massive fights at your school? Like, anything going on?
Because where in Ripon, there's a standard state comprehensive.
Yeah.
And there's the grammar school. So at the grammar school, it's obviously they've sort of picked the elite sort of thing. It doesn't sound great, but like, so like generally, like they want a lot going on.
No.
It was a bit of a, like, there's obviously the odd couple of people who'd have a bit of a scuffle, like, but there was never like a full-on fight, which was quite disappointing.
Yeah. No, at my school there was. It didn't happen often, but when it happened, it really happened.
Did it?
Like
fully?
Yeah, like the whole school would run over. Because when I was in, I've been to like a few schools, but the first school I went to was like, it was a massive field, and you had like year 7 to 9 on this one field, and it would just be that like 2 kids would just have some sort of problem with each other, and then it would just slowly like erupt, and then you'd get some lad sort of like the man on sort of the post box just shouting, "Fight!" and then the whole school would just rush this one lad, and then the kids are like, we've just gone from like just pushing each other a little bit to the entire school watching us have a fight, and then it's that weird thing where they think they've got to put on more of a show. Because like everyone's there,
start a WWE sort of thing.
Just like pulled a Steel's chair in front of the stage, just like batters him with it. Like, no, it's always so mental as well. I remember this one because we had this like a cage, and like
a cage,
like a cage, like a sort of like basketball cage.
Right.
When we were there was this one lad. He was just like sitting like perched on a wall, and this other lad, he got some sort of trolley from somewhere. I've no idea where he got it from. It's probably WWE. He's like pulled a trolley out of somewhere. I think there was like a Waitrose nearby or something, and he just like rammed this kid with it, just like, rammed him with it, and he was just like completely done. Because that's quite a big thing, isn't it? To get like, you proper pushed it as well.
You get a bit of momentum.
Yeah, the kid got up and it was just some huge thing. And then like, the teachers were like trying to stop it, but it's just two quite big lads at this point, you know.
Yeah, when it's like year 11s or sixth form, it's like what's the teacher?
What can the teacher do? Like if you're going at it hard,
if they get involved, they could get a smack in the face.
Exactly, they're just gonna get onto the draw themselves, aren't they? You know,
they don't want to like touch the kids, do they?
No, because obviously the sort of like legal stuff around that. Yeah, so just gotta let them do it. Haven't you? Let them let their anger at each other and then go back in. Oh man, there was some mad stuff. Like you just look back on it, it's like, how was that like allowed, or how do we get away with that?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes we'd be playing rugby, and then like someone would hit with like late hit or something, and then it's like, are we still playing rugby? Like, start getting
is this still going now, or is this just a fucking fight on the field?
Is this just you trying to shoulder charge each other almost?
No, exactly. It goes from just like some sort of light thing to them literally just going at it.
Yeah, it always starts as a bit of like held touch.
No.
And then someone puts in a shoulder, and then it's like chaos.
No, mate, it's like, oh man, it's especially rugby as well. Like the matches, just you can just tell in the first sort of 10 minutes if it's going to be like a big one or not.
Yeah, it's just if they're giving off chat, if you're giving off chat as well.
You know, it's when they just start like
some point.
In sort of like the rucks and stuff. If they start giving a bit of abuse, don't they?
Yeah, or they start like standing on you, like stamping on you.
When you're on the ground, they just start stamping on you. It's just like, what are you doing? Like why?
Melt.
And then you do the same, and it sort of escalates. It's sort of like an arms race sort of thing, and it keeps going
up and up and up.
Yeah, more and more people just doing like the violent stuff until it's like basically breaks out into a fight. Have you ever had like a proper team-on-team fight?
Yeah, you have in rugby. I know, cause like, I think because I play in the back, so like, it's obviously a fight normally breaks out in the forwards.
Yeah.
Because like, if I'm stood 30 metres away, 20 metres away, and I run over, it's like I look like a mug.
Yeah.
Just to go push someone or whatever.
Yeah, you just sprint 30 metres just to push them around.
Playing some team, I think they're from like Leeds somewhere, I think. I can't believe it, or it might have been somewhere near Bradford.
Oh yeah.
And they I think it was like a late hit or something, so he pushed him back. And he started like windmilling his arms.
Really?
and then like our lad was full on like boxing stance. It was unbelievable. And then like so I was a bit mad.
I remember this one. I was watching a school game when I was like in year 9. I was watching like my school's firsts.
Yeah.
And like it was just a full on fight. Like it looked like something out of like a massive brawl. Like,
that's a bit mad.
It was just completely mad because like the scrum master's fighting the scrum half. Everyone's just
it's
fighting.
Like, what does the ref do as well?
Yeah, like, can the ref stop?
They're just like blowing their whistle.
And everyone's just looking at him like, what's going on? Like the ref's not doing shit.
I've heard of like matches being abandoned because they're just full on scraps and they just go, no, that's it.
No, because like the ref's like, I have no control now.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You're done. Like that's it. You've both lost now.
Yeah.
You're both getting no
both
points.
Go home.
And you're getting red cards, so take the L.
And then like you're gonna get like written up by.
Yeah, they'll write you up with me as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. Whatever, like the England.
Yeah, and then the FA get funny about it, don't they? So,
yeah, it's all a bit mad.
Honestly, man. But yeah, so like, just going into a bit more about sport and stuff. Like, you used to be quite like a runner, didn't you?
I used to be a bit of a twig. Used to love my cross country and that. I was never great, but like I'd run for like the school and we'd go over to like somewhere in the hills in the Dales. And would get slapped up by all these like hill runners.
Yeah, because it
was a decent laugh because like there'd be like 6 of us and we'd come like fairly close to just the 6 of us being at the back. So it was a bit of a laugh, day off school. So I used to quite enjoy it. And then like, so I always do my rugby, and I used to do a lot more cricket than I do now. But I sort of got a bit tired of getting out for nothing, spending a tenner and just getting out for nothing and not bowling.
No, and your day's just fielding.
Yeah,
standing in the same spot, catching a ball.
And I'd be out in the deep because like quite tall, not the most agile.
So you're just there to like see it back.
Yeah, I just sling it back.
Yeah, well, it's just like it's quite tedious, isn't it? You know,
it did get a bit boring, especially because like my mates who were playing, they got promoted up the teams at the club I played for, so they were getting like first, seconds, whereas I was still sort of hanging about in the thirds and fourths.
Mate, and you're just like, when's my time?
Yeah,
when am I being pulled up?
Like in juniors, I always batted. I did pretty sick in juniors. Like I used to get decent runs, and then as soon as it came to adults, it's like I couldn't hit a run similar.
No, honestly,
so it just gets boring when you're a bit rubbish, really, innit? It's like it's not fun when you're not very good.
Exactly. Like if I'm not gonna win, why am I here?
Yeah.
Obviously a bit of fun, but like it's not fun if you keep getting battered.
Yeah, it's not really fun when there was just like a bunch of sort of older guys, like none of my proper mates.
Yeah.
And not having a great day.
No, definitely not, man. But yeah, like just going to sort of like bodily change, because as you said, you were quite lean,
I was quite a needle, and then I reckon it was like GCSE summer. Obviously towards GCSEs I was sat in my room a lot, sat down, doing a lot of work, and then like I'd get bored, I'd go to the kitchen, get something to eat, and then after my GCSE went Cornwall, because my dad's from Cornwall, so went there for like probably getting on like a month almost maybe.
Yeah, like good.
There for a while. And like when you're in Cornwall, like when in Rome, you're eating pasties, you're eating scones,
every day, good stuff,
fish and chips and all that. So I came back like I must have put on like 10 kilos at least.
Wow.
and then a bit of just like.
That's mad. 10 kilos.
Yeah,
in a month.
it was just heavy, and then like it was all on my gut,
Yeah.
love handles and that, and then like just like genetics and that kicked in. So it's like I was probably getting up towards 90, and then I've just kept going, and it's like I'm triple digits easy.
Yeah. No, it's weird, isn't it? Because like I remember when you're growing up, everyone had this sort of stigma around it being quite heavy.
Yeah.
And then like when you're actually heavy and you know you're big, like you just own it, and it's just cool.
It's like I could go out running loads and like not eat as much.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't really want to be that skinny to be
No,
fair.
because like, what is the benefit of that? You know.
Yeah, it's like if I want to play rugby, it's like
exactly.
you want a bit of size.
Exactly, because like if you're a twig, you're gonna get hammered, aren't you? Really. So.
I don't fancy that because like I'm not the biggest lad in defence. Like I don't put in big hits. So it's like if I lost my weight, it's like what have I got then?
Yeah, honestly. It's like I remember because I used to be really, really like skinny.
Yeah.
I used to run like I used to run some sort of mad distance, like 10k a day. It was mental. I don't know why I did it. It was so mental, and like it was like every day, like routinely, I would just run 10k when I got home from school.
I want that interested.
And then there was like, because you know, with the things like body dysmorphia, you don't realise what you look like.
Yeah.
Because you have some like, fucked up perception of what you look like in your own head.
Yeah.
And then the mirror's just completely lying to you, and then your body will change again. And then you'll go back to the mirror or back to your phone and you've taken sort of like a pic of like your progress. And then you'll look at it and go, what the fuck? I was so skinny. I was so lean.
Yeah.
And like you don't even realise in the moment how skinny you was.
It's like when I thought I started putting on a bit of weight, like looking at pictures of me then to like me now, it's like that one putting on weight.
No,
like,
that was nothing, yeah.
It's even like when they're like, when you're near year 10 or whatever, and you're thinking, oh, so-and-so is the biggest on the team.
Yeah.
And then you like look back to pictures and it's like, you weren't big.
You weren't big, no.
It's like, why were we like scared of people like that? Yeah, it's like
this lad
they weren't that much bigger than us.
No, because it's all the perception, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it's like
what you
looking back to it.
Yeah, what you think's the thing is the thing. You know?
Whereas now, like a big lad on the pitch, he's a lot bigger than year 9, obviously.
No, a big lad now is like, you have to be substantially bigger to actually be noticed. Because everyone's big, no one's like really small.
Yeah.
So, you know, they just look at you and
you would have
like,
to be a unit.
Yeah, an absolute unit, mate. And there are some people like who play rugby like around here where you go, wow, you're massive.
Yeah, you can spot a DU rugby player, can't you?
You can just see them off, mate. Yeah, you definitely play that, you know. And, you know, fair play to them, mate. They do literally like every day of training.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
It's a lot, isn't it? Because like, I think that is good because that goes back to like specialising in one thing or being like good at and competent about different things.
Yeah,
because you could go all in on one thing and be very, very successful within a specific thing, but then you're missing out on all these other opportunities.
Yeah, that's all. Especially when you first come to uni. Like I went to sort of first DU sort of trial thing for people who hadn't done pre-season.
Yeah.
And like head coach or manager, whatever, he banged on about like how it's a massive commitment and like they need you sort of almost full time.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want to be there full time.
I'm not here full time.
Yeah, it's like you want to be doing other stuff too, especially in like first year.
Exactly, because there's so many opportunities to do.
And like the college rugby's been a laugh so far.
It's been good, isn't it?
It's been a good laugh.
Honestly, like, it's just for those of you who don't really know how the system sort of works. Is at Durham and other collegiate universities, you have like 2 sort of tiers of stuff. You have it done at a university level, which for most universities will be all there is.
Yeah.
And for us, we've got college level. So if you want to do something at a more social or sort of like less fully committed level,
it's more like leisurely, isn't it?
It's more leisure. It's more like for the fun of doing it, more than actually like massive competition.
There's
pressure.
leagues and cups in it, but it's like
it's
just
for fun.
A bonus,
it's for fun, isn't it? It's
if you're winning that, that's a bonus.
Exactly. There's no one like sort of screaming at you, being like, "Oh, you got to eat this."
Yeah, it's all student run as well, isn't it?
That's what's so cool about it as well. Is like as a student, you can shape things to what you think is like better. Because if you see something that's like, you know, that's not run very well, or there's a lot more potential for that, then get involved and change it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, they say it like rugby matches, you see all them posters, it's like, don't shout at the ref because like if you've not volunteered, then you shouldn't shout.
Yeah.
That's fair play, isn't it? Because like it's the sort of thing that you can actually shape yourself. So, you know, why not, if you have an issue, don't run your mouth, get involved and make it better. You know, that's what's so cool. Like everything, like it's all students. And it's mad to think like what is actually made by students, just like from us doing
it's
stuff.
like just like a whole sort of, it's like almost a full rugby club, isn't it? Just being run by like 3 or 4
lads,
really.
Yeah. And like fair play to them. Shout out to you guys if you're listening, Rory, good man. But no, honestly, like it is really mental, isn't it? Just think like
and it is a good laugh.
Honestly,
I'd say I'd come because I know at some universities they have like sort of a chemistry football team. I don't know,
like, subject.
So like I'd sort of compare it to that and say it's been like that. It's a bit of a social, bit of a laugh.
But it also is like because you're all part of the same thing, part of the sort of college.
Yeah.
It's that sort of like thing that brings you all together, which is quite cool because it's like they're sort of like your group of people, within the sort of whole unit.
And it's quite nice to meet people older than you as well, different year groups.
No, exactly.
It's like if we sort of had a question about housing or something like that, I don't know, dissertations.
About, whatever's going on in the next few years, like
just
they've already been
them.
through it.
Yeah,
exactly. And it is just cool on a night out to just see people you know.
Yeah,
like,
you're just building more of like a group of people. If you're ever in danger or something, I don't know.
Exactly, they're just there. Like,
yeah,
they're your pals, aren't you? You know. And obviously, when we get older, we can do the same thing for the younger ones.
Yeah.
And it's that cool thing that's been like passed down. You know, you think like all the people who've come before us at Trev's who've like done the cool stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, we're just the current people doing it. And then obviously when we move on, get older and stuff. I think, you know, our good mate Archie Saint, shout out to you. Good mate Archie Saint, basically he in Jimmy's the other day, shout out to them. He basically this lad come up to him who was like 27. He worked for like a consulting firm, and was like bought him so many drinks. And was like, the only thing I want from you is that when you're 27 and got a good job, you come back and do the same. So like fair play to him, to be fair, you know, because like it's just that sort of like concept of paying it forward. So like for me, even like the stuff I've done, sort of like the flying stuff, like when you do stuff, people pull you up and help you up, because there's been countless things which if I've not like spoke to people, you know, got their insight, I may not have done as well. So then when you've done the stuff, it's good to like pay it back and, you know, be like, this is what I've done, I want to help you guys now. And it's that sort of like thing that keeps going. And that applies to basically really anything, like sport, any sort of academia, like even like helping like younger siblings and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you're just trying to, you know, get them, you know, to where they need to be. Have you ever done any sort of like coaching for rugby or stuff? Or
when I was before I came uni, I worked for, they're called Rugby Tots.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically soccer tots but with a rugby ball instead.
Oh nice.
And so it was like me and this other lad. He was a bit old. He was probably 20 something. But like that was a decent laugh because the kids were little. They were like 2 to 7.
Really?
They were like it was a Saturday morning.
Oh.
And it was just funny because like they were all just like balls bigger than some of them.
So that was
pretty funny.
Oh.
And like I've done like maths tutoring and stuff before as well.
Yeah.
I just quite enjoy doing all that.
No, it's sort of the thing of.
It's like fulfilling, innit?
Yeah, taking someone from not knowing or not being able to do something to you helping them.
Yeah.
And then them being able to do something, you know. Yeah, so that's just really cool, I think. Because like, it's just you've made a direct impact on someone's life. You've actually really
like teachers, something. Isn't it? Like.
Yeah.
Must be a pretty like satisfying job.
No, I know. I think just like as a teacher, a lot of them don't really realise how important their job is.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you think some people, if they don't have sort of like familial figures in their house or
like
in
if
their
a teacher has a go at you, like that could stick.
No, it can, mate, because like some of the stuff people don't realise when you're like a young kid or even like sort of like early teens, words really matter.
Proper like moulds you.
No, I know, like the words people say to you, like it can even be like a throw off comment, and it can
and
really,
they
like,
can stick, can't they?
I remember, mate, just like a sort of thing that's just come up in my head then. I remember I was at a rugby trial for Kent, like quite a high level then, because I was like quite serious with rugby back then, and I was playing. And there was some guy who I'd literally never met before, some coach. And you know, it's the whole thing, you just think someone has authority, so you should listen to them. Yeah. Which is obviously bullshit, you know. Judge people on who they are, not the title they have. Yeah. But back then, when you're like 14, you don't really realise that. And you're just like, oh, look at this guy. He's the coach, he's the guy you've got to listen to. And then young 14-year-old me, this is when I was quite big. Yeah. And this guy was like, oh yeah, you're too fat to play rugby. Yeah, I was just like, why? What the fuck? Why would you say that to a 14-year-old? Yeah, isn't it? That's just a bit mad, isn't it? And you just think like, when obviously I know now it wasn't about me. It's about this guy's sort of like issues he's got going on in his own life that's manifesting through him talking to me. But at the same time, like when you actually deep that, we were so young, and they're just talking to you like that. Like, it's ridiculous.
So like, there's all the stuff about like eating disorders. Yeah. So that's a mad comment to make.
No, I know it was mad, mate. To be fair, and that did fuck me up a little bit because.
Which means rugby, it's like you don't need to be skinny, do you?
No, I know. Like no one. That's not the thing. Yeah. It's about being good at rugby. Like why should it matter what you fucking look like? Like it shouldn't at all. Yeah, it's a bit mad. Honestly. So then that kind of, you know, made me feel like, whoa, you know. And that's why I kind of lost like, quite a lot of weight. That wasn't the only reason. I was like, yeah, I want to do it for myself as well. But at the same time, like, it is weird, isn't it, how people listen to like authority. Yeah, like, I think it's definitely about case by case. What is this person saying? Is it going to help me in my life? If it doesn't help you, completely disregard it. Fuck them. But if it does help you, then take it on board and continue. Take it with a pinch of salt always. Exactly. So have you got any sort of like really good advice from people? Or like really advice you think's really stuck with you and gone, yeah, that's pretty cool? Well, I mean, what I always think when it comes to a lot of political things is just like stay in your own lane. Yeah. It's like people talk about abortions, about gay marriage. It's like if a lad marries a lad, like it does not affect you, does it? No, it's not impacting
Why
you on
are
a
you
day-to-day
complaining?
basis, is it? Yeah, exactly. It doesn't
It's
matter.
like, just leave it out. Like, you just be you, really, isn't it?
Exactly, do your own
Do
thing.
what makes you happy. If someone wants to transition from one gender to another, it's like it's not doing anything negative to your life.
No, exactly. It's that whole thing of like, you know, not judging people.
Yeah, it's like if it makes them feel better in themselves, more confident,
Yeah,
happier,
exactly.
then you do you, and I'll stay out of it.
Exactly, and it's just weird that people think that someone's
They almost have a
personal
say in
choices-
someone's life.
Yeah, it's
don't
like,
they?
why do you have a say? It's not your life. Like, you would be really annoyed if someone came into your life and said, sorry, mate, that blue car you drive, nah, it's not
Yeah,
on.
you can't do that.
It's not on, mate. Because of my beliefs, that's
Yeah.
not on. And you'd be like, sorry, mate, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
you know, then you look into yourself and go, whoa, what am I doing here? Because it's the same thing. So I think it's that whole sort of, it all does boil down to sort of like love thy neighbour as you love yourself.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't, you know, treat people how you want to be treated, because you wouldn't want
It's the golden
someone,
rule, isn't it?
it's the golden rule, mate. It literally applies to every religion, mate. That's the bottom line of it all. It's just, would you want this thing happening to you?
Yeah.
If not, don't do it. You know? And the whole point, obviously, in life is like, it's a learning process. It's like a school, really, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Life is a school, because you're learning all these different things. Because if you know, the whole point is, so let's say something really bad happens to you, or something, you know, doesn't go your way. The whole point is life trying to teach you a lesson. Because you go, right,
Yeah.
okay, I've learnt a lesson here, so, you know, let's move on, and then learn the lesson, it doesn't happen again. Because if you don't learn the lesson, life will keep giving you the same test
Yeah.
until you learn the lesson. And once you know the lesson, it doesn't happen again, because you've changed within yourself to prevent this circumstance from occurring.
It's like you see them little like graphics when it's just like little steps of failure leading
Yeah.
to success, isn't it?
Exactly, because you know, you have to fail so many times before you can reach success. Because like, once you actually get there, because like, you can look back and go, look at all this stuff that's actually happened.
Yeah.
Look at all this mad stuff that we've done. But, you know, that's what makes the victory so much more sweet, is sort of the struggle.
That is it. It's about the journey.
Exactly, because if it was easy, mate, if it was easy, one, everyone would do it, and then
Yeah,
what's the
that's it,
point of
isn't
that?
it?
It's not really that cool if everyone's done it, you know? And it's like the harder something is, the more worthwhile it is doing,
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
you know? Because if the odds are against you, and then you do, like, you know, achieve it, then, you know, it's pretty mad. So it's just like, it's sort of the underdog story in all sort of films and that.
Yeah. Definitely feels rewarding when you like accomplish something, doesn't it?
Yeah, because like when everyone thought you wasn't going to do it, and then you were like, no,
Yeah.
I am going to do it, and then you keep telling them that, and they keep like first they laugh at you obviously, because that's the sort of normal reaction, and then they'll go, what's going on here? And they get a bit jealous, start, you know, abusing you a little bit, and then you actually do something really cool, and they're like, whoa, he's actually
Yeah.
done something. But it always takes that sort of like initial, so you can't be afraid to, one, be embarrassed, and you can't be afraid to like listen to what anyone says, because like, you know, if I listen to half the things people say, I wouldn't do much stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But you just got to disregard it and go, it doesn't actually matter to me.
You do you, isn't it? Stay
You
in
do
your own
you,
lane.
mate. Exactly, because, you know, I'm not going to tell them what to do, because I wouldn't want them to do the same to me, really.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's like anything, like, you know, people just judge people initially from what they look like. And that goes back to the whole thing
Yeah.
of, you know, your mind can only know a certain amount of people, therefore you're only going to sort of like, you know, remember a certain amount of archetypes of people, and therefore not get to know everyone on a personal level. But at the same time, you've got to try and go, nope, it doesn't matter what this person looks like. Let's just have a conversation with them and judge them on who they are, not on what they do, not what they look like, you know? But yeah, so just going back to sort of like academia, how do you think the work-life balance was with you trying to do all the sort of like, because you did really well in your sort of exams, didn't you?
Yeah. I did get some top grades. So it's just like keeping that balance. Like I'd always, some people are like, oh, I can't come to rugby tonight. I've got, like we had like a set of sort of just like mock exams that were basically like determined part of our grade.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, I've got an exam tomorrow. I can't come rugby. And it's like, I never really wanted to miss rugby or anything
No.
like that, because that was like, kept my mind fresh.
Yeah, that was your sort of release.
It was
wasn't
like 2 hours out of the week or whatever. And it just, yeah, it was a good laugh with your mates.
Exactly.
Sort of, it's just to relax and de-stress almost.
Exactly, because doing that sport really does sort of relax you, because you're relaxing your mind by training your body. Same
Yeah.
with the gym and everything. Like, that's why it's so valuable. People say, like, even for your mind to just do the gym, because just through doing that, it's just going to mean that, you know, one, you're getting all the endorphins from doing it as well, which is obviously really good for your brain and sort of well-being.
Yeah.
But it's also that fact of like, you know, something you can definitely see results in, because sometimes in life, a lot of the results are like underground. Like imagine like a
Yeah.
tree, like a tiny little sprout, but underneath it's got huge roots. You can't actually see the results yet. But with the gym, you never notice you're getting big until one day you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, hello, where's
Yeah.
that come from? You
It's
know?
like we were saying before, when we were skinny and then we
Yeah.
thought we were gaining weight, and then it's like we
But
did
you're not
gain
exactly,
weight.
yeah, because every day you're gaining like 0.1% muscle.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't see the transition because it happens so sort of gradually. And it's that thing of when you see sort of family members or like friends you haven't seen for ages, and they're like, bloody hell, you've changed. You know, you look so different now. And then it's sort of that sort of thing that kind of goes, wow, I've really sort of changed now. And then, you know, how do I feel about that? And that's the thing as well, is always sort of reflecting everything and going, this part of my life, what have I learnt from it?
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, what have I learnt from, you know, listening to someone who I shouldn't have listened to, and then therefore, obviously the action was good, but I just took it too far, and it becomes a problem. Like, it got to the point where, like, I was looking at the calories of water. That's fucking mad, that's not okay. And, like, chewing gum and that. Like, what?
Yeah.
And it's just from doing that, it's just like, you know, how can I conceivably sort of, you know, think that's rational?
I started trying to count calories and that, but I just don't enjoy it.
No.
It was like, I was trying to, like, slim down a bit. It's like, I'm just not enjoying this. So I just stopped.
No, it's just not really fun.
Yeah. I was like, that's not the one.
Honestly, man. So just like a few little questions, like just to finish off here. What would you say the impact of sort of teachers on your life and other students' lives have been, and how significant are they?
Well, I mean, I'd say that teachers at secondary school, I love the maths teachers and the maths department. They're brilliant, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm taking maths now.
Nice.
It's like, when I sort of came to the school, I thought like, oh, sciences, love that, biology, that's class. And then I just thought like the maths department, they're just brilliant. And then I ended up taking further maths at A-level, and sort of just pushed me towards maths at uni. So they just shape like they almost shape what you start to enjoy. Because like if there's a class like geography teacher, you're probably going to enjoy geography a bit more. Exactly. Even if it's not really the content, but you just enjoy going to the lessons, and then it sort of like morphs into the same thing. I like geography. Exactly. So they definitely shape your life and mould your life, and they provide opportunities for you and stuff as well, don't they?
Exactly. Like I had so many inspirational teachers, and you just like there's this one guy at my old school. He was just like, he'd always just talk truth. He'd be like, no, this textbook's bullshit. Yeah. Well, the actual truth is this, and then he'd show you all the evidence for the actual truth, and he'd look at it and go, what? What do you mean? There's the stuff we're told is a lie. And then that opens a whole sort of Pandora's box of like what's actually going on, sort of thing. But
I feel like it's a lot more humanities as well, isn't it? They're a bit like, this is what we're meant to learn, but this is sort of real, like what's actually true. Yeah,
because textbooks just don't do anything justice.
It's like when you peel back the skin, there's obviously layers.
Yep, like Shrek says. Onion layers, mate. But no, so just like one sort of final question I'd say would be like, with what is your motivation in school, and what do you think the danger of comparing to others is?
Because I was motivated basically just to be the best. I wanted like top grades. I wanted to be top of the class. And then as we got into sixth form, a lot of new lads joined. One lad especially, he was just like brilliant at maths. He was just like, he's at Cambridge now, and he was just like top quality. Yeah. So when he came, and there's like, obviously the maths class became a lot smaller, and the further maths as well. So it's like we were all almost sort of like 10 of us. Yeah. So it was like we were all just sort of almost competing with each other. It's like no one really says that, but it's like
that's the unwritten rule of it.
Like
really,
we are competing for top grades. So it was like I always did compare myself, but it's obviously not the right thing to be doing. No. So like when all these sort of bright people there, it's like I almost had to learn to not compare myself. Yeah. And just work on myself trying to get that top grade instead of beating other people. Because like an A-star's an A-star. Yeah. I don't need to beat another lad.
You know, the grades are the same if you get 1 mark over the boundary.
It's like if you go to uni thinking you're going to be top dog and comparing yourself, you're not going to have a good time.
No, because that's just the wrong mindset. It's just about being better than yourself yesterday.
That's it. You want to beat yourself.
Beat yourself, mate. You think yesterday, right? I did like an hour and a bit of revision. Yeah. How about I do 2 hours today? Or how about I, spend 10 minutes reflecting on my life?
Maybe just keep increasing your knowledge instead of comparing to what other people
Exactly.
have
It's like, have you seen that image of like Michael Phelps when he's swimming? The other swimmers are like looking at him, and he's got his eyes on the lane. He's just fully in his lane, looking at the end.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. So I think that's probably going to be the sort of, I don't know, key point to take from this video. It'd be like, have an open mind. Really, really realise that everyone's just trying to do their best, and if you just focus on yourself and don't judge others and be kind to people, good things are going to happen, and then we're going to make a sort of better world, really, aren't we?
Good karma will be coming your way.
Good karma will be coming your way, and yeah, if you go to Rip and Mackey's, enjoy your ice cream if you're at the right time.
It'll be class.
It will be class. You may see Ben in there, and he'll give you a discount.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. Right, well, thank you so much for coming on today, Ben.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, it's been really good, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. This has been Alex and Ben.
Been Ben.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.